Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad.
How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is
to be together on this day. How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is
to be together on this
day. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is wonderful to be with all of you this Shabbat morning as we call Bennett and Daniel to the Torah as B'nai Mitzvah. We are so glad to have you in our sanctuary, as well as to have those who are watching online with us as we come together as a community, both to celebrate with this family as well as to celebrate Shabbat. Bennett and Daniel are going to be leading us in prayer. They are not performing, they are leading us. So we hope that you will participate as much as you feel comfortable in the Hebrew and the English. On the wall, you will always have Hebrew and transliteration, the Hebrew written in English letters. And we hope that you will sing and pray along with us as we celebrate Shabbat and are led by these young men. We bring in Shabbat by becoming a community. So I invite you to just turn to each other, to introduce yourselves, to wish people Shabbat Shalom. If you don't know each other, please tell each other your names. Go.
What do I have Torah?
It's all good. I got it. Don't worry about it. Stealing your book. There we go. All better. Not all better. Look at that. Better. There we go.
We turn now in our service to a prayer that thanks God for our soul, for reminding us that we woke up this morning with our body and our soul and are grateful to be able to sing and celebrate together.
Elohai, Elohai, Neshama. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama. Shenata Tabi, Tehorahi, Tehorahi. Ata, Berata, Ata, Yizarta, Ata, Nefakta, Nefakta Bi. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama. Shenata Tabi, Tehorahi, Tehorahi. Ve'ata, Mishamera. Ve'ata, Mishamera. Ve'ata, Mishamera. Mishamera Dikirbi. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama. Elohai, Elohai, Atabi Tehorahi Tehorahi. Later on in the service, we would chant the Kiddushah, which is all about God's holiness. The Kiddushah is the third prayer in the Amidah, which is the central part of our service. In some ways, the prayers before the Amidah are a warm-up to help us get ready for these very important prayers. The entire Amidah is said standing. During the Kiddushah, we even stand on our toes as a way of trying to reach higher into the heavens each time we say the word Kadosh. One of the things that stood out to me is that the word Kadosh is repeated 3 times, which suggests that this must be an important word. I learned that the word Kadosh means holy, and then found 8 words in the prayer that are related to the concept of holiness. In Judaism, holiness means that something is sacred and connected to God. When something is holy, we need to preserve it and treat it with great care. For instance, Torah is a holy and sacred object. We keep the Torah in the ark, we dress it with beautiful garments, we have rituals about how we remove it from the ark, and when we read from it like Bennett and I will today, we always say blessings. When we think about how we treat other types of books, like notebooks for school, we definitely do not use the same level of care. I think that the concept of holiness is important. Holiness is what gives us our holidays like Shabbat. Without holy days and sacred objects, life would just be boring. When we read from the Torah, celebrate holidays, and recognize the holiness that is inside of other people, it helps us to grow closer to God.
After the Torah reading this morning, we will chant the prayer for healing, Mishaberach. Each time we offer this prayer at Temple Bethel, the names of those in our congregation who are in need of healing are projected on the wall. We also have the opportunity to share names out loud of those that are in our hearts who we know need help. As we sing this prayer, we have all of these individuals and more in our minds. One of the reasons that I think we share names like this around the Mishaberach is so that we can know who is in need. Maybe we know their relatives and we can reach out to them and be helpful. Maybe we can feel inspired to help others, even if we do not know them yet. One of the things that stood out to me in Mishaberach was, bless those in need of healing with Refuah Shelema. Refuah Shelema means a complete healing or a sense of wholeness. I believe that we should understand that everyone needs help or healing within themselves. When we work to find healing in ourselves, we also find our own good nature. When we realize healing in ourselves, when we are helping others, then when others help those around us, we can begin a chain reaction of kindness. This is how we make the world a better place. Part of my Mitzvah project was to volunteer with Friendship Circle in the Crisis Assistance Ministry. I was able to help individuals and families who need extra care by raising awareness for people who have special needs and also building furniture for people who need it. I felt happy I was helping these people and extending kindness to them. Mishaberach means, may God give us new strength and compassion to help us grow and become even better versions of ourselves and have the courage to help others, help ourselves, and therefore make the world a better place.
Yalla lie, lie, lie. 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 Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Yada lie, lie, lie. Yada lie, lie, lie. Yada lie, lie, lie. Yada lie, lie, lie.
Yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai.
Baruch
Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uvarei choshech, oseh shalom uvarei et hakol, hameir la'aretz v'ladarim alecha barachamim, uvtuvo mekadesh b'chol yom tamid, ma'aseh v'reshit, ma'rabu ma'asecha Adonai, kulam b'chokma asita, ma'al haaretz kinyanecha, Titzbarach Adonai Eloheinu, al shevach ma'aseh yadecha, v'al mo'orei she'asita, yfarucha selah, or chadash al Tzion ta'ir, v'nizkeh kulanu nireh le'oro, Baruch atah Adonai, yotzer ha'mevorot.
wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction,
Story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us, and the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'v'kol nafshecha u'v'kol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi netzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shitecha b'mitzecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha uv'shartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uv'tavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'lohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti echem me'eretz Mitzrayim lehiyot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. You have stayed long enough in this place, God said. Time to go forward. Turn your face to the future. Believe that you can cross the sea and survive. Inside you is a Moses. Within you Miriam dances unafraid. Lift up your voice and sing a new song.
Yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai lai yai lai lai yai lai lai.
Michamocha ba'elim Adonai, Michamocha ne'etar b'kodesh, Nora tehilo osei felet, Nora tehilo osei felet.
שירה חדשה שבחו גאולים לשמך שפת הים יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו
Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed.
Yisrael, Kuma be'ezrat Yisrael, Ufedechinu mecha Yehuda v'Yisrael, Go'aleinu Adonai Tzvaot Shemo Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch Ata Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Yada lai lai lai,
Yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai. Adonai, Sifatai Kitah, Ufi Yavi Tegilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagidor, Hagibor ben Ahorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasei Avot V'Imavot, U'Mevi Gulal Livnei B'neihem, L'man Shemo V'Yahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach V'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, V'chayei Hakol Atah Barak V'Yoshia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem, V'chayei Chayim B'Chesed, V'chayei Hakol B'Rachamim Rami, Somech Nofelim V'Rochei Ko'olim, Umatir Rasurim, Umekayem, Umato, Lishenei Afar, Mikamocha Ba'agin Rurot, Umido Melah, Melech Mimi, Umekayem, Umatzmi Yeshua. V'ne'emanata l'chayot ha'kol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei ha'kol. Nekadesh emshicha ba'olam, Keshem shimakishim o tobish me'marom, Kakatuv al yad neviyecha, V'kara ze'el ze' v'elmar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Sefaot, Mimlo Kol Haaretz Kivodo. Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu, Ma'adir, Shimcha B'Kol Haaretz. Baruch Kivod Adonai, Mimkomo. Echadu Eloheinu, Hu Avinu Malkeinu, Hu Moshienu, V'Hu Yashmienu, B'Rachamav V'Yanei Kokai, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Yimloch Adonai Le'olam, Elohai Yitzion, Ledor Vador, Hallelujah. Ledor Vador Nagid Golecha, O Nitzach Nitzachim Kidushacha Naktish, V'Shivchacha Eloheinu Mipinu Yolamush, Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshei, Mekadeshei Shavi, Shabbat. Kulam Yisbe'u, V'yatangu Mitzivecha,
Shabbat.
Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat.
V'ashvi'i ratzida bo dikashto.
Shabbat.
Chemdat yamim oto kerata.
Shabbat.
Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat. Zecher L'maaseh, L'maaseh V'reshit.
Shabbat.
Zecher l'maaseh v'reshit.
Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha,
Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. We now take time for silent prayer. Shalom, Bim Roma, Ose Shalom, Bim Roma, Huyase Shalom. Huyase Shalom. Huyase, Shalom. Alleluia. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say Shalom. Bim Roma. Oh, say Shalom. Bim Roma.
We have come to Seder Kriyat Torah, the service for the reading of Torah, when we will call Bennett and Daniel to the Torah as B'nai Mitzvah. We are going to begin by inviting forward Jake Wachs for the opening of the Ark, Frank and Anna Tuchillo, Ken and Mindy Wachs, Bob and Susan Goldberg, and Jeff and Nicole Wachs for our Torah pass. If I can invite the rest of the congregation to please rise. So Bennett and Daniel, we are standing before you with these Torah scrolls. And as our congregation will learn from you in a little bit, your Torah portion talks about all of the things we make to create holy space. Our Torahs are beautifully decorated. In the Torah portion, we learn about the Mishkan, the traveling temple in the desert. But one of the things that you're going to teach them is that it's all of those beautiful things were only so that we could get to the heart of Judaism and to the values that are inside of this Torah scroll. So as we pass this Torah scroll through the generations of your family, as it's been passed down for generations before them, they're passing this scroll, but they are really passing the sacred words that are in it, the sacred words that you have studied and have committed to being a part of your life going forward. may be seated.
The Hebrew name of my Torah portion is Vayakil in the book of Exodus, which means, and he gathered. I will be chanting lines 1 through 10. My portion takes place approximately 6 months after the Israelites escaped the slavery of Egypt and are now near Mount Sinai. Moses gathered all the Israelites and said to them that the Eternal has commanded a Mishkan to be built, which is a portable dwelling place of God. God also commands that work can be done on 6 days of the week, but on the 7th day, the Sabbath day, anyone who does any work, including lighting a fire, shall be punished. Then Moses tells them to give whatever they can give to help decorate the Mishkan. The Israelites then willingly gave gifts from their heart to decorate the Mishkan. One reason why I think my Torah portion is important is because it shows that Jewish people have an important connection between tradition and what they do in their everyday lives. After being enslaved in Egypt for about 210 years, they escaped and worked their way to Mount Sinai. It was then that they built the Mishkan. The Israelites decorated it to show its beauty and how much God meant to them. Another reason why I think my Torah portion is important is because it shows that we can make something good out of a bad situation. Even though they still had the hardship of being in the desert, building the Mishkan gave them a sense of community. The Israelites wanted to build it because they were struggling while being all alone, so they built the Mishkan to be closer to God. I can relate this to something in my life. When COVID started, we were all forced to have school online, and because of this, it was hard to play with friends. I had Zoom meetings with my friends and family where we could connect with each other because we were struggling, so we built our own sense of community. By doing this, we were closer to each other like the Israelites wanted to be closer to God. The biggest lesson I learned from my portion, Vaikil, is how we should never give up on a bad situation and try to make it better. Like when the Israelites were wandering in the desert and building the Mishkan. Even though it was difficult, they worked hard and believed that they could make it to the promised land. Shabbat Shalom.
Bennett, thank you for your words. We continue now with the reading of Torah, and we call forward for the first Aliyah, Ken and Mindy Wachs, Frank Tuchillo Jr., Andrew Tuchillo, and Julie Strassner.
Baruch et Adonai HaMvorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMvorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Holy One of blessing, your presence fills creation. You have enlightened this path with the wisdom of Torah, giving it to the Jewish people as their particular way. Blessed are you, merciful one, who gives the Torah to the Jewish people.
Vayakel Moshe et koadat b'nei Yisrael vayomer aleichem Ele harvarim asher tziva Adonai la'asot otam shishat yamim teyaseh melacha vayom hashvi yelachem kodesh Shabbat Shabbaton l'Adonai kol hosevo melecha yumat lo tevaru eish b'chol mosvotechem B'yom HaShabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Holy One of blessing, your presence fills creation. This Torah is a teaching of truth, whole and balanced, and from it comes eternal life for the people who embrace it. Blessed are you, merciful One, who gives this Torah to the Jewish people.
Amen.
We call forward for the second Aliyah, Jeff and Nicole Wachs.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamavarach.
Baruch Adonai hamarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamavarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayomer Moshe el koadat b'nei Yisrael le'mor zeh hadavar asher tziva Adonai le'mor kechu me'itechem teruma l'Adonai kol nediv libo yeviyeha et terumat Adonai zahav v'chesef u'nechoshet Utchelet v'argaman v'tolat shani v'shesh v'zim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. It is our honor for the third Aliyah on the occasion of his becoming a bar mitzvah to call Bennett Wachs to the Torah as a bar mitzvah. Ya'amud asher Binyamin ben Yosef v'Nicole habar mitzvah la Aliyah la Torah.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamavarach.
Baruch Adonai hamarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amin, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Ve'orot elim me'odamim, ve'orot techashim, v'atzei shitiim, v'shemen lama'or, uvsamim, v'shemen hamishcha, v'litoret hasamim, ve'avnei sham, ve'avnei miluim, la'efod v'lachoshen, ve'chol chacham leiv bachem, yavo v'yatzu et klasher tziva
Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
We now invite Daniel forward to share with us some words of Torah.
The Hebrew name for my Torah portion is Vayakel. It is in the book of Exodus, and I'll be reading lines 21 through 29. It takes place in the desert with Moses and all the Israelites after they leave Egypt. It speaks to the kinds of gifts the Israelites brought to decorate the Mishkan, which is the portable dwelling place of God. My Torah portion references the way that the whole community of Israelites came together for this project. It talks about the fine details of its construction. Some people brought gold objects, while others brought fine yarns and animal skins. There were gifts of silver and copper. Of course, some needed to gather the wood. This Mishkan was not intended to be an ordinary structure. It required the beauty and craftsmanship needed for a spiritual journey. It seems to me that people willingly brought what they had and helped according to what they knew. None of the Israelites had ever built a Mishkan before. God told Moses to choose a leader for the project. Moses chose a 13-year-old boy named Bezalel to be in charge. He was a very skilled artisan, but more importantly, he was very enthusiastic and committed to completing the project that Moses had given him. This shows that people of all ages can start and finish great tasks if they believe what they are doing has great purpose. In turn, they will receive pride, joy, and confidence. For example, I am also 13 years old, and I am leading prayers and reading from the Torah. For one part of my Mitzvah project, I volunteered at Friendship Circle to help children with special needs. Another part was with Crisis Assistance Ministry, to build and provide furniture given to less fortunate people. Volunteering at these two organizations was very rewarding, even if it was sometimes challenging, because when we worked together and were dedicated to the task in front of us, we were able to accomplish our goal and help people in need. This reminded me of when the Israelites built the Mishkan, because it was a challenging task. By coming together and contributing what they could, they were able to build a sacred space. When we are doing a task to build something special, we are absorbing the qualities of what we are building. We feel good about it. When something is difficult and we can work through it and understand it, we leave that task feeling stronger and more confident. The Torah teaches that I should take responsibility for myself and realize that the gifts I have come from God, so I should use them to benefit others around me. What I like about my Torah portion is that even after escaping from Egypt and wandering through the desert, Moses and the Israelites still found the time and energy to build the Mishkan. This shows how important it was to be able to connect with God while moving constantly through the desert. The Israelites brought gifts and worked to make the Mishkan sacred. In fact, they had brought so much that Moses commanded them to stop bringing gifts. They didn't just bring the minimum, they brought and did all that they could. This shows that you should always give your best effort in everything you do. Shabbat Shalom.
We now turn back to our Torah reading, and for our fourth Aliyah, we call forward Bob and Susan Goldberg and Stephanie Minaldo, Frank Chuchillo, and Anna Chuchillo.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Vayavo.
Holy One of blessing, your presence fills creation. You have enlightened this path with the wisdom of Torah, giving it to the Jewish people as their particular way. Blessed are you, merciful one, who gives this Torah to the Jewish people.
Vayavo il kol ish asher nesa'o libo v'chol asher nadav arucho
oto heviu et tiramat Adonai limlechet ohel moed ucho avodato uvigdei hakodesh vayavou ha'anashim al hanashim ko nediv lev heviu chach vanezem v'tabat v'chumaz kol kli zahav v'chol ish asher henif tinifat zahav l'Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Your holy presence,
Holy One of blessing,
your presence fills creation. This Torah is a teaching of truth, whole and balanced, and from it comes eternal life for the people who embrace it. Blessed are you, merciful one, who gives this Torah to the Jewish people.
For the fifth Aliyah, we call forward Jeff and Nicole Wachs.
Baruch et Adonai hamavarach.
Baruch Adonai Havarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamavarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
V'chol isha v'chol ish asher nimsa ito techelet v'argaman v'tola'at shani v'sheish v'izim v'orot elim ma'od amim v'orot techashim heviu kol merim teru ma'chesef unechoshet heviu et tirmat Adonai v'chol asher nimsa ito atzei shitim v'chol melechet ha'avodah heviu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. And for the honor of the final Aliyah to the Torah today, it's our privilege to call you as Bar Mitzvah Daniel Wachs. Yamot Shlomo Tuvia Ben Yosef and Nicole Bar Mitzvah La Aliyah La Torah.
Baruch et Adonai hamavarach.
Baruch Adonai Havarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamavarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
V'chol isha chachmat lev beyadeha tavu vayaviu matveh et hatechelet ואת הארגמן, את תולעת השני ואת השש. וכל אנשים אשר נמצא ליבן, אותנה בחוכמה, תבעו את העזים. והנשיאים הביאו את אבני השוהם ואת אבני המילואים, לאפוד ולחושן, ואת הבושם ואת השמן, למאור ושמן המשחה, ולקטור את הסמים. כל איש ואישה אשר נדב ליבם, אותם להביא לכל המלאכה אשר ציווה אדוני לעשות ביד משה. הביאו בני ישראל נדבה לאדוני. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת, וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
אמן. With the Torah still out before us, we take a moment to offer Misher Berach, the prayer for healing that Bennett spoke about at the beginning of our service, a prayer that asks for refuah shlema, for complete healing, both healing and wholeness. And I think to take from what the boys have taught us, to bring together community, to be together as a community and recognize what everyone is wishing for different people. You'll see behind us on the wall the names of those in our community who are in need of healing, those whom we know to be in need of healing. But you as well might be thinking about people this morning who are in need of healing of the body or healing of the mind. If you would like to add the name of someone, I invite you to share their name out loud with us. Take all of those names into our hearts as we offer this prayer for healing. At this time, we call forward Brady Wachs for the honor of lifting the Torah, and I invite the congregation to please rise. We continue now with Haftarah, a reading from the prophets to connect with this week's Torah portion.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'cher b'nvim tovim v'ratzah v'drehem ha'nemarim be'emet Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah u'v'Moshe avdo u'v'Yisrael amo u'nimdieh ha'emet v'atzedek. Vayas chirom et hakirot ve'et hayaim ve'et hamizrakot vayachal chirom la'asot et kol hamlecha asher asa la'melech Shlomo beit Adonai amudim shnayim ve'gulot hakotarot asher arosh ha'amudim shetayim v'hasevachot shetayim lechasot et shetei gulot hakotarot asher arosh ha'amudim ve'et harimonim arba me'ot lishtei hasevachot shnei turim rimonim lasevacha ha'echad lechasot et shetei gulot hakotarot asher al pnei hamudim ve'et hamechonot aser ve'et hakiyorot asara al ha'amudim al hamechonot
ve'et hayam ha'echad ve'et habakar shnei masar tachat hayam ve'et hasirot ve'et hayaim ve'et hamitzrakot ve'et kol hakelim ha'eleh asher asa chiram la'melech Shlomo beit Adonai nechoshet memorat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zor kol ha'olamim tzaddik kol hadarot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh hamdaber imkayem shekol divarav emet v'tzedek all ha'torah v'all ha'avodah v'all hivim v'all yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu l'kdusha v'limnucha lechavod u'tifaret all ha'kol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach umvarchim otach yitbarach shimcha befi kol chai tamid le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha'shabbat.
Amen.
First, I want to thank the tutors and teachers here at Temple Bethel, and Rabbi Nichols and Rabbi Erkheim for helping me with Hebrew. I would also like to thank Cantor Thomas for teaching me Torah. They have all helped me prepare for this moment. I want to thank my friends for making life enjoyable. It's fun being around you. I also want to thank my aunts, uncles, and cousins for introducing me to new things that I otherwise wouldn't have known. I always look forward to seeing you guys, and you are fun to be around. I would also like to thank my mom for making my time enjoyable in Maryland. I always like being with you, especially when you make matzo ball soup. Also, thank you, Grandpa and Grandma, for always making my time fun when I visit you in New Mexico. I like playing cards with you both and eating Grandma's yummy cooking too. I want to thank my brother Daniel for being there when I need someone to play with. Daniel, you did a great job today. Mazel tov. Even though you make us lose video game tournaments, I'm still glad you're my brother. Thank you, Mom, for always being there to support me and push me out of my comfort zone to do better things. Thank you, Dad, for coaching me through sports, teaching me about baseball, and striving to make me a better person. Mom and Dad, please join me on the Bima.
They do, okay, all right, Bennett. So here we are, it's your bar mitzvah day, and your mother and I are so proud of you, and I bet Daniel is also. You're a strong and determined 13-year-old who has a solid value system. Continue to use it, it will serve you well. Draw from the perseverance and commitment you made for this, and know you can accomplish what's before you, while at the same time using the values you've learned on this journey. Our family is so blessed and honored to have you a part of it. I'm thrilled to be your dad. You have brought us immeasurable joy and happiness, and at times, just gut-busting laughter. Bennett, you make people feel good, even as a baby. In fact, I know you can make people laugh, even when you're not near them. Just ask my mom. All she has to do is just think of you, and she'll laugh. Your Torah portion has clear instructions on what needs to be done to achieve the goal of building the Mishkan, while at the same time remembering the ultimate goal of reaching the Promised Land, as the modern world calls it, multitasking and priority setting. You do this. After 7 years of training, you're coming up on your second-degree black belt test. That is only achievable from setting priorities and showing perseverance, even after a couple of broken bones. You've learned that patience, bravery, and power exists within you. Your martial arts leaders believe in you for good reason, as do your teachers, your Hebrew tutors, and your clergy. Bennett, you and your brother are sharing a very special day and will continue to share many good times ahead. But more importantly, you will continue to make your own individual path. Each of you are instilled with your own God-given talents and interests. The Torah gives us many examples of brothers. Their relationships and paths are all different. They have different roles, accomplishments, and legacies they've left for the world. By using your own talents, you'll not only make yourself feel good, you'll make those around you feel good too. And what's better than that? Your Torah has many lessons we can use as a blueprint on how to build a noble life. There had never been a Mishkan before, but they trusted, and their intentions were true and met with excitement. Their effort was rewarded by sustaining them with God's presence until they made it to the Promised Land. There's never been Bennett before. Be true to what your gut is telling you. Trust yourself. Absorbing the wisdom and energy from this parsha can absolutely help to build a loving and joyful life. Your mom and I love you and believe in you so deeply, far beyond what any sequence of words can say. So with that, I'm just left to say, Mazel Tov.
I know what you and your brother are thinking. Please don't embarrass me. And please don't cry. I am going to say wonderful things about you. If that is embarrassing, so be it. In addition to everything your dad said, I cry saying wonderful things because it gives me a chance to reflect on what a blessing you are and how much joy you bring to me. I am so impressed with how you both approach this day. I always knew preparing for a bar mitzvah was a lot of work. I had no idea. For the benefit of our diverse group, I will share some details while claiming my full mama time once for each of you. A mom of twins always tries to ensure each son has what he needs and deserves. You had to learn Hebrew, a new language with a different alphabet, different pronunciation, and notation as vowels, all while reading right to left. You also had to learn how to chant and learn the right melodies for each line of the Torah by preparing with color-coded Hebrew words. There are no music sheets in that scroll. no punctuation, and no vowels either. You learned the English translation of the Torah and many, many prayers. If that wasn't enough, you studied their commentary and wrote your own for 2 different speeches that you delivered to many people in the congregation and live streamed to countless others. Oi! If I wasn't nervous before, I sure am now. Whew. Okay. I know this is the right path for you, for Daniel and our family, and I fully support both you and I fully support you both in your incredible dedication to this day and every day. Thank you to Rabbi Nichols, Rabbi Erdheim, and staff for always making me and our family, especially me, feel welcome. Extra special thanks to Cantor Mary Thomas, whose instruction and guidance were so invaluable to Bennett and Daniel. Bennett, when it's time for chores, you don't complain, but you are rather skilled at selective hearing. You didn't need much reminding or prompting to do what needed to be done to be ready for this day, to lock it down, like Uncle Kenny says. You do what is right, like a true leader. You showed incredible poise today, Bennett, something you developed while pitching through some tough innings. You always kept your cool and finished the job. When you were little, your dad and I would call you a tank. Because when you would fall down, you would bounce back up and keep going, and you still do. When I am having a bad day, I think of you as a tank. Bennett, your superpower is your easy grin. Your reflex is to smile at everyone, regardless of the conversation. It sets people at ease and endears you to them. Just because it's easy for you doesn't mean it's easy. Making others comfortable is truly a gift. Dream big, Bennett. Continue to push further than your comfort zone. Trust in yourself. I know you can. You know you can. An amazing life lies in your ability to manage being uncomfortable in new situations. You rocked it out. I love you so much. Mazel tov.
First, I would like to thank the people who got me here. Without the tutors, rabbis, and especially Cantor Thomas, I would have never learned how to read and chant Hebrew. I still don't know what I'm saying half the time. Secondly, I would like to thank my friends. Hanging out with you guys is really fun. Without you, I wouldn't be the person I am today. Lastly, I would like to thank my family. Mom, whenever I go to Maryland, I look forward to going to your house and eating your delicious food. Maybe you can give my dad some cooking lessons. I also enjoy playing games with you and going out for ice cream. Grandma and Grandpa, I love playing bocce and cards with you. Hopefully I don't fall into another cactus when I come and visit. Bennett, I know you worked very hard on this and you did a great job, but we both know I did better. I am so grateful to have a brother like you. I really appreciate it when you help me on homework that I don't know. Mom, thank you for helping me with my homework, cooking really good food, and I enjoy spending time with you. Dad, thank you for always being there for me and coming to my lacrosse tournaments. I appreciate it when you give me pointers and encouragement. I'm also very grateful for everyone that traveled to see me and Bennett today. Mom and Dad, please join me on the bima.
Daniel, it's come to no surprise how much I'm honored and thrilled and blessed to be your dad. I love our time together, going back and forth, to the ball fields, karate. I love seeing you grow and watching how your interests grow. Not only are you now a teenager, somehow you grew into a full-fledged Bengals fan. That's got to be a recessive gene. You are purposeful and task-driven. Maybe it's fitting that your Torah portion is filled about details about a work project. Sometimes it's not always fun. We just need to do the work. As your other team, the Panthers, say, keep pounding. As you mentioned earlier, Moses chose, of all people, a 13-year-old boy to run the project of building the Mishkan. Dumbledore from Harry Potter must have gotten wind of this when he said, "Age is foolish and forgetful when it underestimates youth." So don't let anyone tell you you can't accomplish something. Knowing you, I don't believe that to be the case. Being 13 is an awesome place to be. It's not always an easy place to be, but nonetheless, it's awesome. Youth provides wonder and excitement. This is now your gift and your blessing. Use it. If it's wisdom you seek, ask those who have experience with whom you trust. There are many people in this room today who love you dearly and who you can draw from. I'm sure they would be happy to share with you. Your mom and I love you so deeply, but we also know we don't have all of the answers. Have the courage to start the conversation, to be blessed by their love and from the lives they are sharing. Daniel, you too can draw from the wisdom of this parsha. I see you as a natural leader. You want to take responsibility to get the work done in the right way. Remember what I've said to you on the lacrosse field. If you look around and you don't see a leader, it's you. So many times we may not know it's our moment to make things happen. We may yield and wait. Have the courage to run with it and learn by making a mistake. In fact, make lots of them, but just not with your intentions. You bring so much love and joy to our family. You're a wonderful son. You're a great brother who happens to have a great brother. Yes, you tease and argue, and then Bennett will ultimately prank you, hopefully when you're not too hungry. On occasion, your timing with each other is not exactly the best. But I've seen the other side and the true concern you have for each other when you need to be there for each other. Don't worry, I won't tell anybody. So as this parsha says, do your work and then go celebrate.
Yes, I am going to say more wonderful things about you. Why? Because you deserve it. I hope you will absorb some of the joy I feel from your accomplishment today. In addition to everything your dad said, I will now claim my mama time again to share more about your preparation and how we got here. I've already spoken about all the new things you had to learn, which was no small task. Well, because your dad and I didn't think that was enough work and responsibility for you, you had to do all of this in just under 2 years, which is about half the normal time. While both of you maintained good grades and worked on your second-degree black belts, good job. One night, when your dad and I were still dating, while I was alone in a spiritual place, I was blessed with an overwhelming sensation that there is one God. And our different backgrounds will not matter as long as we are good people. So now I can say to you, Jeff, I told you so. In the beginning, you needed some reminding to study each day. But over time, I would pass your room and hear you practicing without being asked or reminded. Unlike complaining about chores, Daniel, the grumpiness was gone when you practiced. It is your internal drive and motivation that is a special gift that you and your brother share. My deepest appreciation goes to our families and friends who are here from all over the country. Having all of these good people with us to support and celebrate our sons really means the world to us. Your spirit and boundless enthusiasm are special blessings, Daniel. May you always remember and harness them. It is how you bring happiness to so many. You remind me to have fun when I forget. Daniel, your superpower is your relentless pursuit. Once you set your mind on something, you go right for it, and you do not give up. You put your head down and do what needs to be done. Starting way back when you were little, you had a talent for asking why about everything. Your enthusiasm and ability to question combine for a true tour de force when asking regularly, when are we getting a dog? Daniel, crush it. Go towards what you want and figure it out as you go. Don't let doubt stop you. You made it happen. Daniel, I love you so much. Mazel tov.
Bennett and Daniel, we're going to have you stand right here in the middle with Mom and Dad behind you. We're going to invite the congregation to rise as we open the ark. Bennett and Daniel, you talked to us about community, about growing closer to community and to God, and you spoke to us about finding your talent and contributing to the good of all. And it reminded me of a lesson I learned this week about unity and uniformity, that we should strive to have unity, but we don't need to strive to have uniformity, that we should celebrate differences. And one of the things that I think the two of you embody is that lesson for all of us, that you are unified, but you are also different. And you come together and support each other, but also show us your own lessons that you are each bringing to us. So thank you for sharing those with us. We offer you now these words of the priestly blessing.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Kein yehi ratzon. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's face shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you.
Kein yehi ratzon. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasim lecha shalom.
May you always feel God's presence, and may God grant you the best gift of all, the gift of peace, of wholeness, of shalom. Kein yehi ratzon. We remain standing for Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'tet gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoye ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishbechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu koreim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamelachim, hakadosh baruch hu, v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai, l'melech al kol haaretz, vayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, ushemo
You may be seated. At this time in our service, we take a moment to remember those who are no longer with us, who have brought joy and influence to our lives. Our congregation mourns the recent loss of James Brock Sr., whose funeral has not yet taken place. And we mark the period of Shloshim, the loss in the last 30 days, of Daniel Barrell, Irene Davis, Tricia Devereaux, Joyce Axelman Franklin, Robert Lieberman, Kevin Long, Joanne Seckler, and Joe Smith. And we mark the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the passing of Florence Abel, Doris Alpart, Blanche Arno Biner, Ruth Gisela Asher, Leonard Bilowitz, Ann Bennett, Tamar Ben-Simon, Eva Berkowitz, Ulysses Biffany, Melvin Berenbaum, Sam Block, Frank Boxt, Annette Breitbart, Sydney Sid Kojak, Cecile Cowan, Judy Seisner, Pauline Dworkin, Celia Feldman, Ernest Fenster, Walter Finkelstein, George Francis, Ilsa Levi Frank, Fanny Frank, Howard Franklin, Al Freiberg, Frank P. Gentile, Dina Ginsberg, Paul Glazer, Evelyn Golder, Maxwell Goldsmith, Alwyn Goldstein, Chaya Galinsky, Max Greenfield, Solomon Gross, Fred Hunt, Sherman Jacobson, Ron Kaplan, Scott Katowitz, Louis Katz, Harold B. Krusch, Stuart Larrick, Murray Jack Lavitan, Leah Richter Levin, Alan Luger, Albert and Bessie Mann, Sylvia Meisler Marcus, Paul Margulies, Bernard Melman, Margit Mendel, Solitaire Metheny, Victoria Niego Leon, Mayera Oberndorf, Bess Oppenheimer, Pearl Pearl, Louis Rabinovitz, Ernie Radbill, Albert Rankel, Samuel Resnick, Morris Resnikoff, Ted Reinderman, Lorenzo Risch, Seymour Romanoff, Renee Schirach, Francis Schuler, Celia Gottwert Schwartz, Louis Schwartz, Samuel Schwartz, Randall Allen Sherman, Samuel Siegel, Ida Steiner, Hector Smilowitz, Lenora Stein, Sam Stein, Charles Stein, Bertha Wand, Catherine H. Winters, and Isaac Zubrak. And we remember from the family of our B'nai Mitzvah, Aaron Wachs, Sanford Wachs, Al Donald, Jerry Donald, Harry Marks, Miriam Marks, Isidore Marks, Myra Marks, Bill Koplov, Helen Koplov, Sam Lerman, Shirley Tuchillo, Frank Tuchillo Sr., Helen Tuchillo, Antonio Tuchillo, Angelo Ventila, Rosaria Ventila, Luigi Ruggeria, Clorinda Ruggeri, Baldo Mozzetti, Paula Tanner, Barbara Baraghi, Joyce Axelman Franklin. If you are remembering someone this Shabbat, I invite you to add their name to our list. Zichronam Livracha, may all of their memories continue to be a blessing in our lives. We rise as one community in solidarity with those who mourn to recite Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudusha b'richu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Osei Yose shalom bimromav uyase shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imiru Amen.
We invite Jeff and Nicole to join us up here as we say Kiddush and Motzi.
And first, the words of Shehechianu, offering gratitude to God for having shared this experience together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen l'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'te'avon.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom and mazel tov. You could say it really loud. Mazel tov. Woo.
Expect it more in the future.